guys, welcome back to my how to plan and draw a comic series. We are doing our second episode. Our first episode will be in the description box below. It is on creating our characters, our color schemes. So this is the page that we came up with that day. So today I will be planning some thumbnails of the very first chapter, because that's generally the next thing I do. We also have to decide if we want it to be like funny, scary, dramatic. I would love to make it funny. It has been a long time since I have made a funny comic book. So, with that in mind, we need a new page. So the ideas I have thus far are I want our main character, her, Candy, to be just moving into the area. The two boys, they've been here a while and they're already friends, but I need to find a way to introduce them to each other, basically. And I know the characteristic way of moving her into the area would be to have her in the car, usually very upset that they have to move, and then she goes on an adventure and finally meets the people. And I would like to get away from that stereotype though, so I'm just going to be doing some brainstorming on this page to see what I might want to do. I should probably say that I've already come up with personalities for these three. They are characters I've been trying to work with for a while. I just never really found a story that would fit them. But I know that this guy is a little bit rude, a little bit brass, but has nice heart. Well, they all have nice hearts because let's face it, they're the good guys. This guy is pretty shy, doesn't say a lot. She talks a lot. She kind of makes friends with them against their will. And I do recommend that you at least have a basic personality before you try and write the story. In fact, you might consider having a basic personality before you design what they look like. Some people, and I kind of do this, actually come up with full bios for each one, like their family background and stuff like that, but I mostly already have that in my mind. I'm not specifically writing it down, but I know for a lot of writers and artists it really helps to have all that written down. They write like a paragraph or even a chapter for each character. I usually keep that in my mind unless I'm having a hard time getting to know the character. So I might do that a little bit more if I have a hard time storyboarding this. So far my storyline here is kind of not funny, and since I am trying to push it toward funny, I'm going to have to expand it more. And what I mean by that is this, if it was serious, a serious comic, this could be done in one page, and this could be done in one page, and this could be done, and this is only, 4 pages of stuff. But if I want it funny, for me personally, the storyline's got to move a lot slower in order to throw jokes in there. So I might just do 4 or 5 bullet points before little events before I get them to the end of the chapter. And a chapter is usually, I think, 22 or 18 pages. I know it's double-sided, so. Okay, so this is 14, this is 18, so the next one would be 22. So these are good numbers to choose for amount of pages in one chapter. and I usually do 22, so I have some leeway on storyline. It gives you a little bit more leeway, but I'm leaning toward 18. I do not know why. I've got no reason other than I feel like it. So I think I'm going to try 18. Let's see if I can get 18 little thumbnails onto here. Alright, that's 18 pages, but that does not include a cover. I usually don't plan the cover until I planned all the pages of one chapter. And these are just basic thumbnails. They're for storyboarding. I don't always do it this way. Sometimes I'll do it bullet point-ish. It'll look more like a play. In chapter 1, they will make it to the ruins. So what I do on these is I put in the things I already know. Like I know in the last one I want a big splash page with them looking up at the cool ruins. See the little heads and the little 2 stripes as their body. Sometimes I'll do their feet like this to give them a pose. But yeah, I just do 2 stripes in their head for their pose usually. And then right here will be the big ruins, and they don't say anything. It's ruins. Ruins. Spell right. So I know I want that to be the end. And then I'll just fill in these other ones. You also, I'm thinking a lot. You also have to decide what style you want your boxes. Like you could overlap them like this. You could have them just straight. You could have them do weird shapes, but make sure and have spaces in between instead of the overlap. Whatever style you choose this way, you should keep through all of the comics. So it seems like a little choice, but it makes a lot of difference once you get all the way through the comics. And I know this one seems boring to me right now, so I'm gonna lean against that one. So either this guy or this guy. I also often do some overlapped and then some straight. This is my go-to, I think, for this comic. It gives you a lot more versatility, but then you also have to make a lot more decisions. Whereas the one that was right here that was all straight, so many less decisions, but you pretty much stick yourself in a little box and you are not really going to have to get out of it because you don't want to drastically change the style of how your boxes are laid out. I still haven't even decided if she wants to be here. I wanted to say that she is excited that her house, her new family home, backs up against a forest and that there's like a back fence, but there's a board loose so she can just walk straight into a national forest. I once almost bought a house that was like that. That the back of the house literally backed against a national forest. There was a board loose and I actually walked into the national forest while looking at the house. So I'll probably use that house for a reference for her house. I tend to use real houses from real life as references. If they're not houses I've actually been in real life, I have a tendency to get on The Sims and design the house so I know all the nooks and crannies. I have a little sim walk around the house and do a couple of things like make dinner or something, fix the toilet, whatever. And that way I know the nuances of the house a little bit better than if I was trying to make up a house in my mind or even draw a house that I had never been in. These characters aren't going to spend a lot of time at home. I don't even know where the other 2 live yet. He's got a kind of big family, so I don't know. I don't know that that matters. I love them. They're just the cutest. can't think of a first page. First page syndrome is really bad. I might go grab a piece of lined paper and do the other thing I was talking about, where I make out a script instead of doing thumbnails. Not instead of doing thumbnails, I still do the thumbnails. It's just I write the script first sometimes, and sometimes I do the thumbnails first. But I'm having a hard time coming up with the script, and so I usually have the script in my mind and then I make the thumbnails. But once in a while, make the script first. Just write the script, I mean, first. I'm sure I am not making any kind of sense. Alright, in an effort to get over first page syndrome here, that's my first page. She's walking through the forest talking to herself. It says, "You can't eat that many at once." Yes, I can. Ooh, humans to play with. Which gives me an idea. Right here, she's going to be trying to get meandering through the forest, but she's talking to herself. To self. In the third person. Like she's interior monologuing. I want her to seem kind of weird. She's not a normal kind of chick. She's a weird little kind of chick. So she's talking about herself in third person, being some sort of hunter or warrior or something strange. And I got that idea from right here. So it's a good thing that I just skipped the first page and went to this one because I find it funny now. These two pages I find funny. So anyway, if I was storyboarding this instead of scripting it, then I would do all of these first. But I have decided to script this one, so I'm going to do that, and I will come back to show you the script when that is finished. Point, 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 dot, dot, dot. So there. That's kind of fun. Okay, just a second. Alright, so this is my first page. This is in, not storyboard, what did I say? Script form. So you see page 1, box 1, C standing for candy. Wild mushrooms, be afraid, be very afraid. And the little stars mean what she is actively doing. So she's standing up high like hero pose and talking some more. And then when I got to the end, I made the smallest little thumbnail of just how I want the boxes to be. So that, let's see if you can see it. Come on. Focus. How I want the boxes. It's smaller than my actual thumbnail. That's funny. So that I remember how I want this to all look. Because it's in my mind. But by the time I get to this page, I mean, if we do 18 pages, by the time you get to the 18th page, it's like 2 months later, and you can't remember what you wanted unless you make yourself notes. Anyway, I do find that for me personally, it's all over my hand, that this makes me much funnier. I laughed at myself when I made this. Yes, I laugh at my own jokes. I will do this for every one of the pages, and next time we will be designing the cover. So, oh, I did want to mention real quick that I actually, while I was writing this, had the characters sitting here because it inspires me to be able to look at them while I designed the script. So that might have been why I was having such a hard time doing the thumbnails, is because I couldn't see the characters. And for me, that's a big deal. So that might have been a big part of that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really enjoyed sharing this with you. Let me know if there's anything specifically you want to see, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye. bye bye bye. Bye. Okay. Sorry, I'm being weird today.